Om Shanti, welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today is day 13. Smriti Swarup, Didi Mohini, Bab Saman, Spiritual Authority Shiv Shakti. My Smriti is spiritual authority and my Swarup is Shiv Shakti. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Happy to see all of you. Everyone looks fine and well.
每一个人看起来都很好。
This morning's Murli was so powerful.
今天早上的穆里是这么的有力量。
As soon as I hear the words,
当我一
Baba
听
is
到那个
Smriti Swarup,
爸爸也在讲这
I
个
feel
Smriti
so good.
Swarup，
Our guide is with us. Our
我感觉
teacher is
到
with us.
很好。我们的指导员跟我们在一起，我们的老师跟我们在一起。那个3个星期天也是在讲这个本我的意识的化身，所以感觉到很好。这个月的阿标穆里都跟这个是有关的。今天爸爸说，就是昨天的穆里，星期天的穆里。所以爸爸说，这个西摩地也是力量，以及爱和这个力量应该的那个有这种平衡。爸爸的爱使到我们有力量。这就是人的爱跟神的爱的差别。如果没有爱和力量的话，我们就能够等同，我们也能够去帮助灵魂，成为有力量的，成为坚强的。
Really, really beautiful to
所以
receive
真的很好，去
the
从
blessing
早
of
上开始，爸爸的给我们这个跟爸爸等同的这个祝福。爸爸讲的方式好像很简单这样，
difficult or
为
it's
什么
very
我们难呢？很辛苦呢？
just keep thinking about Shiv Baba, Brahma Baba.
一直想着是爸爸、爸妈、爸爸，
Our thoughts be like them.
让我们的
words
思
like
想也
them.
跟爸爸一样，我们的语言也是这样。
And being children of Baba,
因为我们是爸爸的孩子，
the child is like father, right? Child is always
孩
like
子自然跟父亲一样的。
when Baba was meeting with the souls who have
让爸爸去见那些给了那个土地的，
for Yagya Seva,
来做爸爸的服务的，
starting a Gita Patshala or class,
无论是上课的地方，只是一个上课的地方，或者是我想起几个故事。
in
一开始的时候
1952,
，51、52年的时候，
when some of Dadis came to Delhi, went to
有些
Bombay,
到底来到德里，来到孟买，
then to few other cities.
以及其他的城市，
But I have experience of Delhi.
但是
That
我只是懂德里的事情。
the center I start going, we called
我
it
去的那个中
very
戏，
small apartment.
它其实在一个很小的一个公寓里面，
In that apartment, in one room,
只
somebody
有一
was
个房间，
of Baba's child, and we will go in
爸爸的
other
孩子住在那里，
room.
然后另外一个房间就
And
是课堂
whenever a
课
sister
室。
came to stay,
然后
sometimes
当姐妹来的时
stayed with
候， 所以呢，就住下
slept
来，
in
我也
room
住在那里，所以我们就睡觉地方也成为客室。
In my family, we were at that time just 3 members.
那个在我的家庭大致有3个成员，我的4岁的父亲，我的
So they
兄弟1个兄弟和我自己。
also there.
他问我们是否能够在我们的家那里上课，我说没问题。
So one was bedroom, another one was classroom.
所以现在我们有2个房间，一个是睡觉的地方，一个是上课的地方。你们应该听过
In Pune.
达利江底在布纳
Shares her stories.
分享他的故事。
So small.
他的那个地方这么的小，
In one room was kitchen and bedroom, everything.
一切厨房、那个睡房、课堂、课室都在同一个房间，很小的一个地方。
Where the center was.
当中心开始的时候，
Outside that building, it was like a flat or apartment in the building.
然后外面是一个
Outside the
大厦，
apartment, there was a big board. Brahma
然后
Kumaris,
可
Ishwari
是放了一个牌子，就是 Brahma Kumari 世界灵性大厦，
University, right?
那就大学的意思。
Has full room.
连那个真实的课室都没有。
He said she used to cook there, she used to sleep there.
到底在那里睡觉，在那里煮
Lunchtime,
饭，
morning or evening,
在
when some souls
晚有的时候当灵魂要来的时候，
and
他会把东西都收起来，然后才去。那时候在食物有分配，
Sugar
比如说糖会有分配。 他说他没有办法为每个人做透力，因为不够糖，他只能做2个巧巴蒂， 1个巧巴蒂分成4部分， 然后放一些那个土豆，然后把它卷起来，然后那个就是他的透力。 因为从 Brahma 时代开始，我们一直都有这个给透力的这个习惯，所以那个时候没有办法做透力，所以他们大家都是吃那个面包、土豆。 好像服务的开始是这样的，
Little by
在整个印度， 在一些小城市， 然后从一个城市延伸到另一个城市，
service
以这样的方式， 那个服务一点点的增加，从很小的慢慢发展起来。
People came to know, then more service, then
人们开始知道我们，
houses.
然后我们就可以开始租那个比较大的地方，所以我们有更大的地方。
So then these days, how many and how big the centers are in India.
现在印度的城市的中心
But
都
then
很大。
again, when we came to London, I came in
同样的，1974年我们来到伦敦的时候，
called Tennyson Road.
我们一个
Still have it.
在 Tennyson Road 一个很小的地方，
Sell the original places. She
因
said
为
they
大
are
家不喜欢卖掉那个
from where
也
service
一开
began.
始的那个地方，因为服务就从那里开始了。
At that time, actually, we were renting just 2 rooms.
那个时候我们住的是2房的，
Was not easy. People won't give us for rent.
那个时候人们不愿意租给我们，
So there was a room at the back, there was classroom and one more sitting room.
所以只有一个会客厅，一个课室，然后后面还有一间房间。
We were 4 in the beginning.
所以一开始我们有4个人，大力加 K Dr. Namna，
First it was only Dr. Nimla, then I went.
首先是 Dr. Namna， 然后才是我，然后因为服务增加了，需要人手，然后 Gentleman 才来。
very small space.
分间非常小的地方，
That's from where service began, and
服务就从那个
number of
地方开
students
始了。
increased, but then it was
当
not
学生的人数增加的时候，我们就需要
the
找
money.
一个更大的地方。
It was very heavy rent.
当然，租金都很
So there
贵。
was a community center.
那
about
时候有一个社区，
where in the evening people will have activity.
人们
the
在
students
那个晚上的时候
met
才会有活
small
动，
things all over.
但是呢，都弄得是很脏乱。
Brothers
所以早上呢，一些兄弟呢和姐妹会先去那边，
set up the place.
先把它打扫干净，然后把那个布置起来，然后我们会在那里
That
上
they
课。
had to do every morning.
但是每天早上，
It was
每天都必须这么做，
so lot
因
of
为晚上社区他们很多各种各类的活动，所以会留下
Again, they will
一
clear
房
it.
子的垃圾。
I was in
然后明天早上又得去，
then I used
所以
to
我
go
知
very
道，
often.
我其中我也去做过。
And then was Baba Bhavan, which you all must have visited.
所以然后才有八湾
Bigger, but not very big.
更大的，但其实也不是很大。
Global Cooperation House.
然后我们才自己盖自己的这个大厦，
Always keep increasing.
因为服务不断的增加，从业的数目也不断的增加。然后我们现在有钻石房， 所以一步步的发展。
And also because Dadi had lot of love.
大地有很多的爱，
To everyone.
他为每个人投礼。
She wanted to send Toli to Madhuban. She will send to Toli to all
他
of
那个为我们有人去马德班，他会做投礼，让我们带去马德
that
班。
they made like 1,000 Toli.
有一次他们做了
And
1000个
Dadi
投礼，
liked it because few hundred
大地
were
很喜
used
欢。
in London and at
我们
very
伦敦用几百个，然后其他的都送去
so
马德
far
班。
when Baba says from 100,000.
所以怎么样从1到那个10万
It
个人？
was, of course, Dadi
当然是大地， 大地的放下，然后大地的塔巴
So
下，
expansion kept taking place.
所以呢，不断的发展。
So whether it is space or, but
无
also
论
this
是空间，
Baba when said
爸
that
爸有一
service
次
is
说，
not only through words,
服务不单只是
it has
用
to be also
话而已，
gestures.
也包括你的行为。
I think you all must have experienced. I have experienced in London.
你们应该有体验过，我自己也体验过，在伦敦，
Assignment,
我们被分配不同的工
when
作，
cook lunch,
我们会做午
remember
餐，
myself with what she
然
used
后
to with
Dr. Namla
cleaning.
和我，
We will sweep, we will mop,
我们会抹地，会
but also
擦
outside, you
场
know,
合，
London.
以及
Like here, you
门
have to go
房子
outside.
外面，这也是你的责任。作为那个
In the
住户，
beginning, I felt very shy because
一开始我感觉到很不好意思，因为我们在印度没有做过这些事，
do it, so we all went
但是
to
必须有人做，所以我们就去做，
payment.
去打扫那个卫生。
Very clean. Did also shopping. We will walk across
然后我们必须走路去采购，
and fruit.
大概2个街口这样远，
They there have jobs and shop.
因为其他的人都有工作，都有自己的家
A
庭，
lot of karma yoga.
所以很多这种工作要做。
I always love to wash the pots
我很喜欢，
because I like not only clean pots but shining one.
我不但是要洗干净，我要把它洗到发亮。
I used to wash pots but also
我
wash
去
the
到中心的时候，
very beautifully.
我都要去看看他们的厨房。
You put that powder, bleach powder, little bit,
方
and
法
hot
是你放一些那个什么粉，
all black
然后用一些温水，然后那些黑的那个鸡就会去掉。当没有人，我自己在做，没有人的时候，我自己会这样做。因为爸爸的一切都是非常干净，会发亮这样。我们做这些的工作，我们也得到这种的分数，而且一段时间，相当长的一段时间。然后我去加勒比海那边有不少的帮手了，然后我们才到纽约。从现在开始，纽约开始，我们一个很小的公寓，一个房间是睡觉的，另外房间有些也就睡在那里，但是每天我们会把它打扫干净。当更多学生来的时候，我们一个很小的厨房，然后呢有一个会在那里读茉莉一两个新的学生。我会在正式的课时那个给大家的课，我们看到怎么样很多的去跟爸爸来分享这些地方。在伦敦，那你跟每个人说，你必须有我们必须有爸爸的房间。一个伦敦，我很喜欢去的是莱斯特这个城市，一个很小的城市，有一对兄弟和一开始的时候我去那个 Dr. Numla， 我们两个去那边莱斯特。
So Nimla will go up and I will sleep on the down one.
所以呢，他会一个很小的地方，然后我们得分开睡。但是爸爸的课时，爸爸的相片在哪里？而现在呢，从那个地方带你去一个大大的中心在那里，非常美的一个中心。像这个还有储藏室，什么一切都有了。
So definitely when we share our space with Baba,
我们跟爸爸的这个爸爸照顾着我们，当爸爸的房间，那个我们也会得到一个大的地方当这个服务增加的时候。
As I mentioned, was very small apartment. Then we got one house, Harmony House, then
然后伦敦也在这个纽约是让我们一个很小的房间，然后我们有这个一个比较大的地方。现在我们还有这个和平村，所以你的放下是很重要的，以及做这个行为瑜伽。不是全部都是用心智的，要动手的。当你用你的手的时候，你的心你会感觉到很好，很轻快。有一次是爸爸的4年，刚你在做事的时候，尤其在做爸爸的事的时候，因为你是从心里面想爸爸，带着很多的爱，不是只是心思。
You have to, it's different practices. While doing actions,
当你在做爸爸的事的时候，
you are creating elevated fortune.
你为自己制造这个高尚的福气。
Not only that, but
不单只是这样，
elements,
那个元素，
elements.
这个身体是元素的一部分，也在被服务到。
karmic accounts.
而这是最好是清算因果的方法。当你服务他们的时候，
Whatever way you can do.
无论你能做什么，你就去做。
Heavy work, you can
你
do.
做不了扛那个重的东西，然后小东西也是很好。
And my experience also is so much with
我
the
的体验
surrender.
叫做放下，
We
是一个
didn't
很好的东
realize,
西。
I didn't realize how
我
big
当时没有那种意识，我放下了，我把自己
so
交
we
出
had
去了。
apartment, then was house,
有
then
一个
sister moved
一
there.
个好小的房间，我们
Over
搬
one
进
day,
去，
like gradually,
慢慢的，
I was like a surrender sister.
我也像一开始
Because
好
of
只
this,
是
one day I left.
去住1天住2天，然后慢慢我就成为一个
Since
全职
childhood
的，
belonging to Baba.
然后从开始我就属于爸爸的，
I'm Baba's. And was able to surrender in a very, very gentle and sweet
我
way.
能够很那个
We have
自然的方式成为爸爸的孩子。 所以
ceremony.
现在我们有这种仪式啦，还有这个证书啊，在那个时候没有这些东
Everyone,
西。
those who surrender now, they will have their forms and
那
form
些
of
所谓的都有自己的这个承
I
诺。
have any paper like that
我们有很多这样的姐妹兄弟们，
because there was so much love for Baba.
他们这么爱爸爸，
And we know that sooner or later, our life is
早
like
呢，
surrender life, right?
我们过的是一种完全是爸爸的孩
And
子，
that
都
is
交给
the
爸爸的生活。
lockic, I had lockics, now I have a lockic relationship.
所以呢，我现在也有世俗的家庭，我有个非世俗的家庭。
So just remember
所以记得
what Baba said this morning, the last
今天爸爸
surrender
所
we
说
like
的
very much.
这个最后一句口号，我很喜欢。
Feelings of being instrument.
如果你有这个成为工具的这个意识， 那当你承担这个责任的时候，你还是变得很轻松的。
So our lightness is very, very important.
这种轻松
No
是很
burden,
重要的，
responsibility.
不是这个职责，而是轻松，因为我只是个
So
工具，
surrender
所以很好的这个放下一切，
on the
这是
mark
都是爸爸的，
of a karma yogi.
成为一个行为瑜伽者。
I think all these points
所以
were
这
of
些都是知识，都是弟弟的特长，
but how Didi's love also
弟弟的爱，
very
同时
powerful.
使到我们变得有力量的。
In love, she wouldn't like to see our
在
weakness.
爱里面，他也看到我们的弱点，
And
然
believe
后
that's
去
in a very
帮助我
sweet
们，
way.
他以很甜的方式
So
告诉我们
every
我们的问
weaknesses
题，
are removed.
我们的弱
And
点
we
就会被拿走，
become
然后我们成为这个更好的Om Shanti。所以这个是明天的这个作业，
Om Shanti.
我
So
的
I would like
本
to
性
let you all know that today's Sunday
Uh,
we'll be having a Vekti Joy.
这个灵性的权威 Shiv Shakti 就是 Shiva 的
And also we have something very
引子 Shiva 的工具，
So let's see.
所以
the
我的
first
本我
will
是
review
灵性的
and
权威，
explain what it is about.
而我的这个
Let's watch.
In the new normal of today's world, profound questions arise in our heart. What is the true meaning of my life?
我的生活的意义是什么？
Into this vast story of humanity.
我怎么的我在这个人的故事里面，我的角色是什么？我准备好一个新的开始了吗？
We invite you all to hear the story of immortality.
邀请你们来听这个永恒的故事，进入这个魔术的门。
feeling as you're bathed in light and your heart opens?
当你的心打开，
Discover the terrain of the spirit, a place so peaceful, pure, and
一
love-filled.
个非常宁静、快乐的一个地方，
The story of immortality is your
永恒的故
eternal
事
story.
是你的永
It
恒的
is
故
a
事
story。of your extraordinary powers and fortune.
是你的福气和你的力量
This
的这
is
个
a
故事，
story that will open your eyes to
这
your
是打开你眼睛的故
to
事，
reality
认识
itself.
你自我。
Allow the story of immortality to entertain you through meditations and visuals as it teaches valuable lessons and empowers you to reclaim a joy beyond these senses. Join us every Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. starting from Saturday, June 26th, presented live on Zoom and YouTube. An open invitation for everyone.
.是他们的那个广告，在网上那个的广告，招学生的广告。
Om Shanti. Yes, so we all had our story of immortality, and which we did last month, but this is an open invitation for everyone, for all the relatives, friends. But I would like to invite Sister Shireen, and she will be able to let you know in briefly what it is about. So,
他
welcome,
们继
Sister
续的
Shireen.
在讲这些他们的这个故这些活动，所以我们就翻译到这里。Om Shanti， 再见。
We wanted to share that when Sister Mohini went through the text in May, she was very inspired to share the story of immortality with the general audience. And so a few of us are working on doing that. And so it's going to be, for now, for 10 weeks, the 10 chapters. We're going to cover the 10 chapters in the story of immortality. But this one on Saturdays and Sundays, 11 to 12 Eastern Daylight Time, is especially for a general audience. It's going to be in English, and we want you to invite all your relatives, the moms, cousins, wives, daughter-in-law that you asked about, what's going on with Brahma Kumaris and stuff. And so those are the people, everyone, your friends, relatives. So because this is like going through the course. And so it is like the 7 days course, but it is very different in that it's exactly going to be, the book is going to be unwrapped. And so all are welcome, and we would like you to promote it. And so we will send an email with the link, with the flyer, with the videos, so you can send it to everyone. And we hope to see all of your participation in it. Thank you.
Shanti, thank you, Sister Shireen. And I'm sure one question must have arisen in your mind, that will it be there will be translation or not. So yes, we are working on it. So hopefully we will be having few language translation live available. For Hindi, for sure, we will be having Hindi translation available, and also we are trying to make other language also available. So we'll let you know which are the languages will be available live translated. So in 1 or 2 days, we'll let you know. But for now, Hindi for sure. So now let's invite our angel, Sister Gayatri, who will be sharing more about our Mohini Didi. So after that, we will have our Avyakti joy. Okay, welcome, Sister Gayatri.
Good evening, everyone, and today for our Smriti Swarup and featuring Didi, it will be my Smriti is spiritual authority and my Swarup is Shiv Shakti. Of course, Baba listens to us. Baba is curious about what we're thinking of, what we're churning on. And when he likes it, he engages with us too. So I think that, especially for this week, even though I'm saying it myself, he has been engaging a lot with Didi in her Smriti Swarup. And so today, for Didi, love for God was like a light within her heart that nothing and no one could extinguish. This light illuminated the beauty of her essence, the alokikta beauty, that subtle, sublime beauty of her essence. She never lost her dignity in God's eyes, in the eyes of her equals, and in the eyes of the family. Her spiritual authority emerged from her combined form of a Shiv Shakti. Let's listen to Bapdada speaking to Didi and describing to her the connection between authority, spiritual authority, and Shiv Shakti. Baba said to her, the specialty that has been portrayed in the images of Shaktis is that no impure soul is able to hide their sin when they are in front of the drishti of a Shakti. In the eyes and from the lips, that is from the words of those who are constantly absorbed in the love of the Father, that is, in those who are merged in Baba's remembrance, others would see the almighty authority instead of seeing the form of the Shakti. This is because the Father is merged in their every word. Just as in the beginning of establishment of the Yajna, others constantly saw Sri Krishna in Brahma Baba. In the same way, the almighty authority would be visible in the Shaktis. The Father will be visible through those who are constantly in Baba's remembrance and have renounced the consciousness of I. Just as the Shaktis would have forgotten the consciousness of I, in the same way, others would not see their form, but would see the form of the almighty authority through them. Didi's purity carried a profound simplicity of authority. Her dignity created an atmosphere of confidence and poise, a sureness. And her nobility was in her humble disposition of an effort maker. Her spiritual authority came from being what I call a Mahakali. A Mahakali means a destroyer of evil. So if I were to call Didi a goddess, I'd call her Mahakali, that incognito destroyer of evil. Sister Jayanti shares her experience of Didi. And it was very beautiful because Sister Jayanti was very close to Didi in many ways, because Didi was close to Daddy Janki. Sister Jayanti says, Didi's intellect was absolutely clean, clear, and sharp. She could see the masks people wore and was able to cut through them. She would share with them insights on what they needed to do in terms of their progress to move forward. Didi had spent a great deal of time with Brahma Baba, and so it was in her nature for her to think, what would Baba say? What would Baba do? This was automatic for her because her intellect was so clear that she could remember all the things Baba had said and Baba had done. She would then follow in those footsteps. When Didi would speak to someone, I could feel as if she was invoking Baba first, and in his presence, she would say whatever she needed to say to that person. When Didi would tell someone what they needed to pay attention to, they would take it with the dignity and grace with which Didi was speaking. They wouldn't react or be upset because they felt Didi's benevolence, that she wanted nothing but the best for them. They would take it to heart in that way. Didi once gave me a piece of advice, Sister Jayanti said, which protected me and helped me at all times. Didi said, don't connect souls to yourself. Connect them with someone higher than you and let them be responsible for their lives. That person who was higher than her would then help that person be responsible for their lives. If I have a pure, powerful thought, then Baba is watching and Baba knows what that thought is. I don't even have to say anything to anyone, because if my thought is pure and powerful, then Baba sees it and Baba fulfills it. Didiji's sweet voice stirs something ancient within us, reminding us of our capacity for the eternal. Let's listen to Didi's sweet words of wisdom.
हर बात की लिमिट चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारा ये बाकी जो जन्म है, दिव्य जन्म, वो है इसके लिए। तो कई जन्मों का संस्कार तो जो भरी है, और साथ में जो कई विक्रम बने हैं, इन सभी विक्रमों का विनाश करना है।
But there has to be a limit to everything. This is our divine birth, and this is what it's for. We have sanskars of many births, and also there have been many sinful actions, but it's now time to destroy those.
कैसे? जब अपनी अवस्था पर स्थित रहेंगे। कौन सी? जो पहला बाबा का महावाक्य सुनाया, तो अकाल तख्त पर विराजमान रहो।
And how will that happen? It will happen according to the first words that I shared, to remain present on the immortal throne.
और थोड़ा सा जो सूक्ष्म वतन है, वहां से थोड़ा समय उतर करके समय भी नहीं, ऐसा त्रिलोकीनाथ है तो उनका सैरो, तो जैसे कि तीनों ही लोगों का सैर हम इकट्ठे कर रहे हैं.
And for that, come down from the subtle region for a short period of time. But it's not even a question of coming down for a short period. Let there continuously be the tour of the three worlds, because you are Trilokinath, and so keep going around the three worlds.
अभी अभी शांत अवस्था मिली तो मूल वतन, अभी अभी जैसे ऐसे महसूस होगा जैसे हर एक सेकंड जैसे ये प्रैक्टिस हो जाए.
When you experience the stage of peace, it will be as if you're in the supreme region, and every second that passes by, there will be that experience.
अभी सूक्ष्म वतन, अभी स्थूल वतन, कोई आया 2 मिनट बात की, ज्यादा समाचार भी नहीं सुनना है, ज्यादा क्या थोड़ा भी नहीं, जिसमें कोई जरूरत है तो 2 शब्दों में उस वृत्ति और दृष्टि से जैसे कि उसकी निवृत्ति उन संकल्पों से कर दी.
Then you come down to subtle region and then the corporeal region. If someone comes, you need to speak to them a few words, then you do that. But actually, it is not even necessary to speak a few words. Whatever it is, let it be done in the least time possible. Let there be just some thoughts to share.
I find myself just being drawn so much into Didi's voice, I could almost spend all night listening to her. So now for our homework. And so for Amrit Vela, we're going to be focusing on Mam Ekam Yad Karo. And that is remember me alone, but not just a remembrance as remembrance, but a remembrance to be absorbed in Baba's love. So remember me alone and be absorbed in my love. And we are going to reaffirm our Smriti Swarup. My Smriti is spiritual authority, and my Swarup is Shiv Shakti. And then during the day, we will do what Didi asked of us, to speak less. So let us tomorrow, as a Shiv Shakti, that means the combined form with Shiv Baba, let us speak less, let it speak softly, and let it speak only when necessary. And then tomorrow night, we will reflect on, as she said, be seated on the immortal throne of the soul and be seated as a Shiv Shakti. Think that my spiritual authority emerge in the power of the words that I speak. Then I'm going to reflect on my day and ask myself the question, how did I manage my words today? Were they full of power? But let us just revisit our reflection for tonight, which came from our Smriti Swarup of sweet surrender and lighthouse. The Smriti of sweet surrender we did today, and the Swarup of being a lighthouse. So before we sleep tonight, we will reflect on, as a lighthouse, I illuminated specialties. Let me note the impact left inside of me from doing this elevated act. And now let us together go into our collective remembrance. And let us look at being, of course, we have done the sweet surrender and the lighthouse. today, but then we are moving into tomorrow. And so let us also look at our Shiv Shakti and the spiritual authority. And let us really, truly be together collectively in the remembrance of Baba as we look at this Smriti Swarup and how Didi embodied it. So let's have the video now of our collective yoga.
यही है तमन्ना बने बाबा तुम सा चले साथ घर को घड़ी ऐसी आए यही है तमन्ना बने बाबा तुम सा
यही है तमन्ना
कितनी परवश किया है, कितना छत्र छाया में पालना दी है। अब बाबा रिटर्न जर्नी चाहते हैं।
He has sustained us so much. He has given us so much. And now Baba wants us to give something in return.
तो इसलिए बुद्धि योग की बड़ी गहराई है। देखो बाबा की याद तरफ अटेंशन है। अगर कोई संकल्प भी आया, कोई वाचा भी रही, कोई कर्म भी रहा, तो ऐसी गहराई में जाकर के देखो तो जैसे कि उस समय कनेक्शन कट हो गया।
The yoga of the intellect is very deep, whilst paying attention to remembrance. If there isn't a right kind of thought, or if there's some kind of words or action that is not right, then my connection with Baba is cut.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So, we had deep silence, we had deep experiences. Now we will come into our Avyakti Joy dance for a few minutes and then we'll go back into the silence. So, it's a real practice. So, first we are incorporeal. Now we had to come in corporeal and then we'll go back to incorporeal, right? So, are you all ready? So I would like to invite, so welcome to Avyakti Journey, Avyakti Joy, moved by the sweetness of the godly gathering. So I'd like to invite our sister Moira. She will let us know what is new today in our Avyakti Joy.
Om Shanti, Yakti Purivar, Om Shanti, Mohini. Wow, that was a very powerful meditation. And today we're going to hear a beautiful rhythm, which is called Huayno from the Andes. Very popular music between Peru, Bolivia, and Argentina. Andes are the main mountain range. And so today the Peruvian family is going to lead it to a beautiful song, a wine song called Balicha. So Sister Noni will guide us, his brother Nicola, and the Peruvian family is Erica there, and Marlene, and Rosa, and Lilita, Maritza, Yahaya, and Fernanda. They are in Baba's Fish Palace in Peru. So welcome to you all to stand up. Let's enjoy the rhythm of the Balicha from Peru. Okay? Everybody can stand up.
A ver esa alegría, vamos todos. A ver esa alegría, vamos todos.
जब बाबा पे लगाई, पलट गया पता मेरे भाई। हारते हुए है जी ये दुनिया क्या जाने, मुझे मिल गया मन का में ये दुनिया क्या जाने।
झूमो नाचो खुशियाँ मनाओ, झूमो नाचो खुशियाँ मनाओ, झूमो नाचो खुशियाँ मनाओ, शिव बाबा की महिमा गाओ। बाबा मुझे कहते हैं हर पल मैं बैठा हूँ, बच्चे चिंता न कर। बाबा मुझे कहते हैं हर पल मैं बैठा हूँ, बच्चे चिंता न कर। सिखाए हमको बाप टीचर और सखा बन करके, सोच न बोलना देख न सुनना उठ न सोना कैसे। अमृत वेले सांझ सवेरे दिन और रात, अमृत वेले सांझ सवेरे दिन और रात, चिंतन करते ज्ञान की, चिंतन करते ज्ञान की। मैं बैठा हूँ, मैं बैठा हूँ, मैं बैठा हूँ, बच्चे चिंता न कर। बाबा मुझे कहते हैं हर पल मैं बैठा हूँ, बच्चे चिंता न कर। बाबा मुझे कहते हैं हर पल।
न्यारे नजारे हैं ये, फरिश्ते जो ज़मीं पे उतरे तारे हैं। ये उतरे तारे कितने प्यारे, कितने प्यारे हैं। ये फरिश्ते जो ज़मीं पे उतरे तारे हैं। सबसे पहले इन पे भगवान की नजरें पड़ी। सबसे पहले इन पे भगवान की नजर दीपक तुमसे ही उम्मीदें बड़ी जाने कितनी बार जाने कितनी बार जाने कितनी बार जन्नत ये उतारे हैं ये फरिश्ते जो ज़मीन पे उतरे तारे हैं ये उतरे तारे कितने प्यारे हैं ये फरिश्ते जो ज़मीन पे उतरे तारे हैं
एक ही अरमान है जिंदगी हो खुशनुमा इस जगत के वास्ते हम बने अब रहनुमा हम बने अब रहनुमा एक ही अरमान है एक ही अरमान है एक ही अरमान है मन बने मधुबन हमारा महके जग ये उपवन सारा कर दे पावन सबका जीवन जो बहे गंगा की धारा जो बहे गंगा की धारा जो बहे गंगा की धारा कर दे शीतल तपते और को बन के चेतन चंद्रमा इस जगत के वास्ते हम बने अब रहनुमा हम बने अब रहनुमा प्यार भर करके हृदय में प्यास हर मन की बुझाए ज्योति जीवन की जगा कर ज्ञान का दीपक जलाए ज्ञान का दीपक जलाए
Om Shanti. Everyone, a joyful night. Yeah. We need happiness, peace, everything joyful, right? Everyone, joyful night. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much to all the team who really showed us very beautiful dance and we all enjoyed. So thank you very much. And now for a minute, our little angels also wants to come and give us powerful drishti. So